Go ahead and get this meeting called to order. I'd like to welcome everybody that's joining us tonight. Appreciate you being here. Thank the council members that are here tonight and Cody that is joining us remotely via Zoom. So we have Dustin White is the only one that's not with us tonight. We've asked Councilman Baird to go ahead and get us started with an opening prayer, and then we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this wonderful day, and we're grateful for the many blessings we have. We're grateful for the season where we can celebrate the birth of Thy Son. We're thankful for the opportunity we have to meet in council meeting tonight, and we're grateful for those who are in attendance. We pray that we'll be able to have Thy Spirit with us as we address the items on the agenda and be able to make decisions that are best for the community. And we love Thee and appreciate all of our blessings, and we appreciate those who are serving in our community in uniform and those who serve abroad in our nation to protect our nation. We love Thee and say things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First item are the minutes from the last meeting, December 5th. Any amendments or corrections?
Pastor D was not able to attend, and it was listed that he was asked to come up, which he was asked to come up, he just wasn't there, so.
Any others?
I would move we approve then.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll take that as an aye. Thanks, Cody. I'll give you a little, I'll hesitate a little longer. Motion passes. We have the public comment period. Are there any here that would like to take the opportunity to address the council? You can have up to 3 minutes, or a couple of you. Then we'll give you 3.5 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move to the next agenda item. I don't have any committee appointments tonight. Do you have any recognitions? Okay. Then we'll move forward with the approval of right-of-way agreement between Roosevelt City and UNOX. Okay. Mr. Bay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is Leslie on? Leslie Pearson might be joining us in a second. What we have tonight is a proposal from UNOX for a temporary right-of-way agreement with the city. This is up near the sewer farms. They're laying a line there that'll be there for approximately 2 weeks is all. Very basic. They met with Kirby, got his approval, and met with Brian tonight. We see no problems with this. There is one spot where it's going to cross the road, but they're putting in an industrial grate so trucks can go over. But this will not affect, even if we start the gun range, it will not affect it. It is recommended for approval. Grant is in the agreement, very basic agreement.
Any questions from the council? Seeing none, would entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll move we approve based on the employee's recommendation.
I'm just going to withdraw my, or what do you call that? I'm not going to vote on this just because one
Conflict of interest.
interest in my head.
You're lucky the Cody's here.
If you, yeah.
Okay. So we have Councilman Baird that recused himself. We do have a motion on the floor. We have a second. Okay, second by Councilman Fowler. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion still passes. Next, we have the approval of a 2024 public meeting and holiday closure calendar. Sunshine?
So this calendar looks largely the same as ones you've seen previously. I hope everyone had a chance to look at it in their packet. The biggest change I would note is that It was indicated to me by the chair of the golf course advisory committee that they were no longer meeting, so that's not, on this calendar. I can pull their recurrences from previous calendars and put it on if you would like it there. It just didn't seem something I should put on there at this point.
So they're not meeting anymore?
Well, so we got emails from the committee saying they didn't want to do it anymore. I don't,
The thing of it is it's not a committee, it's not a golf committee that's ran by the golf committee. It's a committee that's sanctioned and approved by the council, and so if they don't want to serve on the committee anymore, then that's fine, but then we'll call other members that would like to
So
serve.
would you like it put on the calendar?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I put it on for the same recurrences as
Sure.
last year, or would you like the calendar to come back for approval after that?
I think the best thing to do, so was it the consensus of all of those on the committee that they did not want to serve?
we didn't have an actual meeting. I think a bunch of them just spoke offhand and then all of a sudden both sent out that email. So
Yeah,
as far as I know, I think we just have the wrong people on the committee, honestly. We need people that
want to
want to
serve.
be a part of it.
Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll advertise and see if there are people that want to be on the committee, and then we'll make a decision after that. So maybe
Just put it the same days and
I
then,
mean, where the committee's not active, I think that we can meet the state standard by, we could pass this calendar and that would qualify. I can also add it to the calendar with the previous, recurrences from 2023 that we had. And then it'd be up to you if you would like me to bring that back for the council, or if you would like to just approve this, knowing that's gonna be added to it.
Mayor,
I'd say,
can we just approve this one and add them later once we get a committee together and find out? Because they may decide a different day or something.
that's what I was kind of thinking too. And then I would like to see if there is interest in the committee.
Right.
You know, I mean, let's get the committee formed and going and everything else before we change anything.
I just think we amend it later. So I did have a question. January 2nd, given it's a day after a holiday, do we need to meet? Is it, I mean, if something comes up, obviously, can we have it kind of as a tentative?
We do have
Swearing in.
Swearing in. I forgot about swearing in. Okay.
yes, we would.
Okay, and it doesn't affect me, I can be there, I was just more thinking of the January 1st and the holiday and stuff, sometimes people take advantage of that kind of stuff, so.
Well, they're still hungover after that. They're,
Right, well, you got all the football games on the 1st, and I'm still cussing and complaining or crying after that, because I lost some pool that I would never bet on,
And then.
because you don't bet on bowl games, right?
Sorry, the only other thing I'd like to point out, Ryan, if you'll go to the next page, I also included the spreadsheet that I used to draft the graphic calendar there. And you'll notice that I made some notes on the Economic Development Committee. I was not able to get a solid answer about when they actually meet. I know that they discussed the issue of changing it from a quarterly meeting to a bi-monthly meeting. But I don't know if that was ever approved, so that's what I put on the calendar was what I seen on their agenda. I don't know how accurate that is moving forward.
I think the biggest thing is, as long as we have the council meetings set. Now, do we have 2 council meetings a month planned on this calendar?
Yes, I have one labeled as.
Except for December, because the Christmas Eve is one of the days, right? I think I saw that.
And then I know with the Economic Development Committee, they wanted to even meet with us. So we, as soon as the holidays are over, see if we can get a meeting with them and see what we do with that. Cool.
Are there any other questions?
That's good to me.
Yeah, I think I would move we approve and then just amend any additions later as they come forth.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Baird. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Drew, planning and zoning items.
Okay, just one item for tonight. We'll table the other ones till the January meeting. So this is the Mueller property. It's currently zoned M2. It's out past Burdick, just to the north of Burdick. Materials is bordering a county road. They have given permission for the encroachment per lot, so they'll have 3 individual accesses there. This was an 80-acre lot. I believe we've got 1 40-acre parcel, two
220s.
So, okay, 220s, and then the remaining on the lot number 3. So pretty cut and dry. Planning and zoning approved with the access granted from the county. So we're just looking for approval through.
I'm just curious, do we have a map?
Like a plat?
Or, yeah, would just, where is it at?
It's on 3,000, it's across from your parents' old house. It's on 3,000 west and about 600 south.
I just wondering, anybody else want to figure that out? Now.
Just to note, water is available, sewer is not at this time for those lots.
These are just rezoning, there's no.
The zone's not changing.
Yeah, it's almost
Oh,
changed.
not.
It's an industrial zone.
It's
It's industrial zone now, they're just splitting it from the 3 to 1 parcel to the 3 parcels.
I don't see any issues with that myself, so.
Me either. Okay, seeing no issues, do we have a motion?
Sure, I'll move we approve.
Motion to approve, do we have a second? Second by Councilman McLeod, all in favor?
Aye.
And that means no opposed, so motion is unanimous.
When you were on Nate, I assume,
What's that?
that's when you were coming for?
Yeah.
Roosevelt City Reporter.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
Take a little.
If I could just sign off my lobbies.
Once you get Tyler figured out, that could be a new skill you work on, right?
Yeah.
I know you're working hard on Tyler, but it's getting close, right?
We are.
Good. All right. Thank you much.
I want to do some Nelson items. So the next 2 items, 2, 3, and 4 underneath C are going to be pushed to the next meeting. Also, the presentation of updated code review can be pushed to the next meeting. And so the last, is it really? Wow. The last item, fuel and equipment donation offer for Rough Rider Shooting Complex. So Summit Line approached us, I don't know, several months ago, saying that they may have some equipment available at the end of the year. They're working on the large transmission line south line, far away south. And anyway, I got a phone call from Sean, who is, I think, the regional manager in this area, saying that 2 dozers have come available and possibly a large excavator. And was wondering if we wanted to, he said they'd be willing to donate the fuel and the equipment if we were willing to pay the labor fee. And so the labor fee, and I'm estimating the labor fee to be around anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000, because it'd be about 6 weeks worth of work, I'm guessing. So it'd be 2 laborers, and we would probably get, what is your guess, Ryan, for the 1,000 yard and some of the work on the Cowboy Action Range? I think it was around $300,000 or $400,000
Yeah.
is what those would be to push.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we can get that done for, 20 to 40,000. We do have the, grant that we've already applied for. We will need 25% of whatever the amount is that we expect to get in grant money as a match in kind. We did already spend, we had 300,000 set aside for this project. We did already spend 45, almost 46,000 on the power lines. I don't know if that came out of that 300,000 or if that was allocated elsewhere. Rhonda, do you know?
It did.
Hey.
And just realize also that anything we spend before the grant is actually received will not count towards it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but if we could get this done for 20 to 40,000, that would put us down to $200,000, but then that's almost all the dirt work for the whole project. That would leave us with about $200,000 that we could match fund. So we could leverage that with what, $800,000? No. Yeah, $800,000, making $1 million total still. So that we would be able to have to finish the project. And then most of what we have then is buildings, benches, and a few items like that. So that would be really good actually. But
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm still a little nervous because I'd really like to get as much as we can off that grant. I understand though, I agree with Dave, Councilman Barrett, I don't know. I just, like I said, it's kind of hard because this grant's taking forever to materialize. They said January, Ryan, was the last update, maybe?
Yeah, at best mid-January, and my opinion is we have been waiting on this grant for a while, and if we have the opportunity to make progress on this project, because the longer we wait, we may not find.
No,
Sorry.
Wasn't there something about in-kind, like labor and donations and stuff could be counted towards the?
only if it's done after.
Right after, but I'm saying is we thought maybe, that's why we approved the 43, it's in the financials, 43,000 plus to Moon Lake for the moving of the line, and we already wrote that check so they can start working on that. But we felt like we might get enough after in kind and stuff, labor and stuff, that we could count that towards that. And this would be another 20 to 40. So we're looking at, like I said, 200 to 220,000 we'd have left over. And so, like I said,
Whatever we do before the project, before we get the grant.
Right.
Wouldn't be able to be.
right, I understand that. I'm thinking of the numbers along with you as well.
So to put it into perspective, we have to match the grant at 25%. The way this works out, and it's not 100% sure that it'll work out this way, but my guess is we're going to be around 10% with taking this donation, meaning the actual work that will be done, we'll be paying about 10% of the actual cost, which is better than the grant money.
Well, yeah, I told you, I agree with Councilman Barrett. I'm just thinking through because I agree with you. I think it's a great boon to us if they, and it's predicated on them being able to do that, right? They're pretty confident that they'll have time to do that.
Yeah, he called me the other day and, I talked to him several different times.
Right.
And he shored up and said, we just need an answer from the council. Because once they get an answer from the council, then he can go back and tell them and start moving equipment. But he didn't want to start moving equipment until we had at least a decision by the council that we would pay the wages.
Is there any chance it would go over the 40,000?
I could verify, maybe we could approve up to 40,000. If it goes higher than that, then we can come back in. But in my mind, how long did it take for the 200-yard range to get pushed? I mean, if you were just talking solid
Like if they were working every day,
Yeah,
probably 2 weeks,
yeah,
probably. And that was with hauling material out and putting it on that road too.
Right.
yeah. And so this is, they'll have, and that was with one dozer, they'll have 2 dozers on this. So, I can't imagine, and I'm just thinking wages, so if we're talking wages, I just put 2 people at 10 to 15,000 a month. You know, I think that's in the ballpark for an operator with benefits and things like that. So even at 15,000 a month, that's 30,000 a month. Yeah, you know, it takes a month and a half, let's say 6 weeks. You're at 40,000,
Yeah.
42,000.
That's my only concern is I'd like to make sure we don't get below that 200,000. And I realize we have a cushion anyway at 40, but I'd feel a little better if we kind of tried to stick to that 40. And if they, you know, if they're close and they need, you know, an extra 5,000 or something, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but it'd be nice to know maybe. Just because I want to, you know, I'd like to keep as much of that fund as I can. You know, if we have to have 25%, you know, I'm hoping we get as much as we can on the back end, but I agree 100%. This is a great cost savings to the city. So I agree we need to do it. I'm not saying that. I would just like to maximize our potential on the back end with the grant. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to weigh both of those. I agree we're getting a lot more value on the front end with the moving the dirt. I just want to make sure that we don't go crazy, you know, because I'd like to keep as much possible at the end is all I'm thinking. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my thought.
How many acres is this project altogether? Do you know, like, is it? How many acres of dirt needs to be moved? Is it a lot of dirt?
Oh, it's a lot of dirt.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We have a, I haven't seen it in a while, but it was, I can't remember how many yards of dirt.
I mean, I feel like paying hourly and not having to pay for equipment or fuel is a really good deal.
Well, it's really basically half price or a little less than that.
I think it's less than half the price when you look at the fuel and the equipment. Really, yeah.
I agree. Well, like I said,
What does an operator make? Maybe we can normally like an hour.
$20, $30 an hour.
No, they're gonna charge more than that. So let's just say,
yeah, I know we're saving a bunch. I agree 100%. I'm just,
Was it the work, any work that has to be performed before we get the grant, or if we get billed out? Because they're gonna be, I mean, if they start January, they're not gonna bill out for that labor until February. So could that still go on the grant because they're not billing out?
I was thinking the same thing too.
I'll bet if
Yeah.
depends on how quickly they get it done. We'll have to check with them with the grant because whatever work, when we get the grant, whatever work is done after we get the grant can be counted as a like-kind match. It doesn't have to be a monetary, a dollar donation or match. And so, yeah. The hard thing is we've got to also take if we're going to take it, we've got to take it when it comes.
Right.
I wonder if we could, I hate to stall them because if they get started next week, for example, they could have it almost done before that. Not that that's a great thing, but I just wonder if they come in halfway, let's say we get the grant and we're awarded that and we have to have the match. I wonder if they would count any work from that point forward being a like kind, because that would really compound.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's a question for Anthony and them because I don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
Right.
knowing the details of that
I
grant.
think-
'Cause there's
I
always
think-
hoops that you gotta go through.
My suggestion was we look at the worst case scenario, and if we think that that's valuable to us, then we do it. And
Yeah.
because it's only gonna get better from that point. And then we can answer some of these questions, but worst case scenario, we don't get any, any like-kind match because maybe it's done or we forfeited that when we started the long range, whatever it may be. and we can put a cap on it, 40, 45, whatever it is, and that's our worst case scenario cap.
I guess the question is we're getting 40,000 worth of work, but if we, at the back end, it'd be 160,000 if we keep the money, right? Or, because it's 25%.
Yeah.
So are we saving that much? And I would think we would be on the back end with the equipment and the fuel and stuff if we're just paying for the labor. And that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I said. I'm in agreement. All I'm trying to do is make sure we try to maximize. And I agree with you, Mayor, if there's a way, if they're not going to bill us till, they bill us, but then if they're doing work after we get the grant, if we can count from that day on, that would help. And we don't know, but I think we have to take the shot of doing it with the risk, but we're really only losing an extra 160 that I think would cost us more, right, for the equipment and
So
for
the
people and
200
fuel and
yard
stuff.
range, Kevin donated most of that, but he was keeping track of his costs, and I think he spent around 120,000 to get that 200-yard range in, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and that was just the one range and
And 200 yards, so you're looking at 1,000-foot range, so you're looking at 4 to 5 times the size.
1,000-yard range?
yeah.
So getting that done and then having to pay, $45,000 to have something that's 4 or 5 times the size
Right.
the cost. So yeah, like the numbers that we're talking, $300,000-$400,000 is easily the value of that 1,000.
Right, that's what I'm thinking is where we spend up to 40 now, knowing we're gonna possibly lose 160 at the worst case scenario at the back end of the grant, but we've got more value.
We've gained.
We've gained
3 times that
significant
much.
more. That's what I'm saying is I think, looking at it that way, I think like I said, I'm all for it. I just want to kind of talk through it and make sure. And like I said, I agree with Rowdy, if there's a way when we get the grant to, from that day on, if we can count any of the extra, that maybe will maximize a little, because I'd like to get as much as we can, because there's always stuff that comes up and any extra money we can find would be great. But this should free up some extra money on stuff we'd have to do, right? So that's what I'm thinking is it makes sense to do it now.
JR, I've looked it up, and so the earthwork on the rifle range is 280,000 is what they got estimated, and just on the cowboy section's 172,000,
Just for the dirt.
just for earthwork, nothing else.
So that's 450,000 and we're gonna spend maybe
Is that
40.
the 200-yard range too?
The rifle range altogether was 280.
So yeah, well, even then, we're still gonna probably save 100,000, Mayor. If not, probably, I would say more, but I would guess.
So it
So,
depends on how much work we can get on the. See, I was thinking that was a little higher than that.
For the cowboy or the
For the
rifle?
1,000-yard.
Yeah, I thought it was too. That's what they,
that's Jones and DeMille's estimate.
yeah. My question is, Summit Line, what's their timeline? What are we looking at?
Soon.
Because we're 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully, on knowing about the grant too, so.
Yeah.
I just think I agree, I think we have to do it because we have someone willing to donate equipment and fuel, and all we're paying is wages. I think we say, all I'm trying to do is, like I said, let's maximize our back end, but, so I'd be willing to go maybe 40 and see what we can get done, and if they need, a little more, they can work with Ryan, and if he needs to come to us, say, hey, it looks like they're gonna need another 5 or 10, we can make that decision down the road. I don't know, just a thought.
Nothing's set in stone with the grant, right? Or is it?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's not, we don't have it yet.
This is a bird in the hand.
I motion if we need a motion, I motion we go ahead and approve it. And if we want to set a cap 40,000 for now, I'm okay with that. We can, talk about it again if we need to.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
About ready to comment again?
Well, So the motion was
This will make you feel better, my comment, but
just, and we'll hear it before we vote. But just, you got the motion.
I put the motions to approve up to 40,000.
Perfect. Second by Councilmember Howard. Go ahead.
I was just, and I won't mention names, but when we had it bid out, it was 700,000 for
So I was
earthwork.
thinking. So their engineer estimate was way low, if I remember, that's why
Yeah.
we were thinking that.
That's what I said, I'm all for it, because I agree. I think we're
That's for
gonna,
everything.
all I'm trying to do is maximize our back end where we can.
How does that feel about capping it at 40? Do you think that's enough? I mean, I kind of feel like maybe even higher than that would be.
I think you can go over 40, honestly.
We're gonna have another meeting before they,
Okay.
Yeah, I just think you cap it, and Ryan, you gotta keep traps, and I'd rather cap it first, and then let's talk about it, because I don't want them going crazy either.
And what I'll do is I'll have him send me an idea of what that's gonna be, as far as, he can estimate it out, how much it's gonna be in wages and things like that, but.
Yeah, and if he comes up more, Mayor, and you want, like I said, I just think for now we cap it, and because we're still trying, it's still money we want to maximize at the back end for the grant.
One thing, Kirby, really quickly, is if we get started on that 1,000-yard range, there's that water line that runs from that field that we're going to be impacting north.
Pivot.
Mhm. So we might wanna mark that and see if we can, I don't know what we're, because they're gonna go, they're gonna push a lot of dirt.
We can mark it and check.
Okay. And then we need to remove and then move that line. I just wanna make sure that we,
Yeah, sorry, Mary, one other thing, I was just curious, we approved the Moon Lake, moving that
Mhm.
line, so they're gonna be in there as well, is that gonna be shouldn't be any problem, right?
it's on the west.
Right, that's what I thought, they'll have vehicles, equipment going in too to do that, right? So we just need to make sure that they're aware that Moon Lake will be in there.
Yeah, where the 200-yard range, or the 1,000-yard range starts, is about where they're going to start off with the line, and so I don't think it will really, it's not gonna impact them a whole lot right there.
I didn't think so, I just thought we had to make them aware as well that's happening. So,
Good point. So we have a motion by Councilman Baird, second by Councilman Cloud. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, seeing none, motion passes. I'll get with Sean and let him know, and then I'll get Sean in contact with you at some point as soon as they're ready to go.
Jones and get out there and look at it.
Yeah. Cool. Expenditure approval, so there's a couple things in purchase orders. Any questions on any of that?
no, everything was stuff we've talked about, Musco was in there, and, Moon Lake always, and a couple other things, but mostly the fields, right?
Yeah, must go to the lighting on the sports complex.
I thought there was one other on the sports complex, maybe not.
I don't know, I keep turning them in.
Yeah.
so-
Anyway, I would move
Oh, that was for Jones in the mill.
oh, that's right. Anyway, I would move we approved. I didn't see any problems.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cloud, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is unanimous. No on the capital projects updates. Do you have anything for us, Mr. Bake?
Just a reminder, we do have Santa coming to city offices tomorrow and Thursday, and the new Santa parade, which we're just taking Santa through the city on a fire truck, just waving at kids Thursday afternoon at 4:30. The map has been posted on Facebook, and there will be some things handed out to the kids.
Awesome. Thank you. Any committee reports?
No, I would like to compliment I like the lights in the city building and then the banners for the celebration and stuff down the streets. I thought those looked really nice, so thanks to your, I thought it looks nice anyway.
The
Yeah.
Arts Parks and Rec has Winterfest coming up, so
Oh, that's right.
it's posted on their page and I'm sure our page as well, the calendar, so.
February 6th is a concert. And then, are we doing the New Year's?
New January.
I said, yes, I did. January 6th.
New Year's fireworks are going to be postponed. Our ice rink is not up and will not be up and running by then. We've had a couple issues. It will be ready, just not by New Year's.
A little warmer this year.
It is.
Cold in the morning, but it warms up.
Mr. Glines and his staff have been phenomenal. They've had to reset the ice rink 4 times, fixing a couple leaks, but he is dedicated and we will have that ice rink. Good thing is the weather's hasn't been too cold.
Yeah. On the first spot, it didn't level well.
Right.
So I did have one little thing with ULCT. The last meeting, we talked a lot about starter homes and some solutions going forward for the state of Utah. And there's some things that are going to be happening there. The governor did send out I don't know if it was just to the council members, or if you guys got them, but there's he's got a framework that he's proposing and he'd like some feedback on. I think that's important. And the Utah League has also been kind of coming up with a framework for them while they discuss legislation on that. But if you have any feedback, I'm sure they'd greatly appreciate it.
I have some, but I shouldn't say it on record.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like there's a good chance that they'll be mandating in state law that we allow that we require a certain percentage of our development to be starter homes. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
They did have, so Senate Bill 174, which has been passed, which is part of the reason we're having to change our ordinances. One of the things I will comment to, and that is, I don't know that it's government's place to get involved with the free market. Eventually those things will be, I think they'll solve themselves. By incentivizing small homes and starter homes, you're going to see, I don't know, I just think government, when they get involved with those types of things, it messes up our market. And anyway, I hesitate to see legislation come down from the state of Utah that will impact that, because normally the market will correct itself. It may take a little while, but it will correct itself. And so that's my only, I'll just say that, I will say that on the record. So I think we just need to be a little bit careful with how government intervenes with most things. Anyway, cool. Thanks, Dave. Anything else? I say we stick around for another 15 or 20 minutes, please.
Nothing else, I would move, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilman Baird, all in favor?
Aye.